Hello and welcome into the newest episode of Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and it's time to ask, are the Patriots ready to zig when everyone else is zagging and make the big time splash in the NFL draft? Will the Patriots look different in addition to having a different look with players on the field? And is there an obvious move that they are ready to make in addition to two players who are set for a serious bounce back in 2025? Before we get into everything, make sure you get down and subscribe for our channel, get into our comments, and let us know what you think about the Patriots being just 10 days away from the NFL draft. And make sure you go and check out our previous episodes after you finish up today's, just to get caught up on everything prior to the NFL draft. We start today looking at Ashton Jeanty, the top overall running back prospect in the 2012 NFL draft, and it has been the resurgence of the NFL running back. Not just in the way that they're being paid once again, not in the way that they're being featured. You can look at no further than the Super Bowl champs and Saquon Barkley and what he was able to bring to that team, really put the team on his back and completely redevelop what they are successful at and how they can really dominate the football. And the question should be asked, should the Patriots get their own Saquon Barkley? And if Ashton Jeanty is even close to what he's projected to be. And again, you look at Saquon Barkley was a number 2 overall draft pick. Is it Bijan Robinson? Are these guys that you have to invest heavily in? Ezekiel Elliott, if you want to go a few years back as well, guys that are going to come in as a bell cow, but you could be ready to really take over and have a ground game that really sets the tone and then opens everything up for your pass game. And if you're looking to take the pressure off of Drake May, why wouldn't you consider a move like this? Some other things to take note of is that Mike Vrabel, obviously in his first year with the New England Patriots, and will have to install and do things a little bit different. If you look back the last time he was an NFL head coach, he had Derrick Henry. So he's very used to having a player that he can just hand the ball to and know that not only can he pick up yards whenever he wants to, but he's going to have somebody that can go in there and set the tone, hammer it through up the middle, and make defenses adjust to what you are doing. The big thing that's looking at making this a big question and why you'd obviously be hesitant to make a move like this, one, for a 4-13 team that is looking to set its identity, and running backs again having a shorter shelf life and the knocks against them, there's a reason why they aren't paid as much. The big question for me is it worth it without an offensive line? If you don't have an established 5 guys at least up front that can move the change and open holes and lanes for that running back to do something with, and again, running back has got to be the one that gets through the holes and can push through contact at the end of the day. But for me, if you don't have that, and the Patriots right now, I would say, have 2 holes on that left side, it doesn't matter. And that's why I think at the end of the day, don't expect the Patriots to select Ashton Jeanty at number 4 overall. I think even if they end up trading back a little bit, there are other ways to continue to build out this football team. And Mike Vrabel and Elliott Wolf have said they want to do it through the trenches. And while Ashton Jeanty is a dynamic player and would be a splash move, it's not one the Patriots are quite ready for quite yet. Additionally, I do expect a bounce back season from Ramondre Stevenson, and we'll get into a little bit more on that later in the show. Additionally, we look at, could the Patriots look different? And we can confirm that the throwback Pat Patriot uniforms will indeed be in the rotation. So one of the best uniforms in all of the NFL at least gets to stay. And the Patriot uniform that they're currently in, this new iteration after Brady had left and what we saw with Mac Jones, and since then, hasn't brought the greatest luck for the Patriots. So there is a lot of people clamoring to either introduce a new uniform and do something unseen before, or potentially do something a little bit off the grid, and that's bring back the 1990s royal blue uniforms, those Flying Elvis originals with Drew Bledsoe, Ty Law, everyone else we got to know and love so much. And it's been a long time since we've seen those jerseys. So it could actually be very interesting to bring those back. And players, and even Drake May, have alluded to that they could be making a little bit of a color splash and bringing those back. While I think it would be fun to actually see a lot of the current crop with their name and numbers on that style, it's not going to happen as of right now, at least per ESPN's Mike Reese, who said as of right now there are no new jerseys set to be announced. Obviously, that could change after the NFL draft. It could be the Patriots holding it under their hat. But right now, at least what they're telling media members and those the closest within the building that are going to be in the know, at least from the journalist perspective, no New Jerseys to be announced. Pat Patriot still in the mix. Expect the same ones that you saw Drake May start to develop him, and potentially could look at something down the line in the near future. But as of right now for 2025, accept the same uniforms for the New England Patriots. And again, at least we get the Pat the Patriot throwback uniforms, and hopefully see those a few extra times this season here as well. The big question here, is there an obvious move that the Patriots are going to make, and is it obvious because of a move that they haven't made? And for me, is why the Patriots have not added a left tackle in free agency, especially with guys and names like Tyron Smith, Jedrick Wills, Joseph Noteboom, just a few that are out there that could absolutely step in and be the starting left tackle for this team right now. And when you have a emerging young quarterback, one that you want to be the face of your franchise, the fact that you have not moved on a left tackle, I think speaks volumes. And we open this episode talking about Ashton Jeanty and what you're going to do at number 4 overall. And, will we see a potential trade back, especially with the Saints now having injury concerns around Derek Carr, and them potentially wanting to move up and secure Shedeur Sanders for themselves? I think we're probably not going to see a lot of trades in this draft because there's not a ton of players that people really want to come up for, especially at the quarterback position here as well. So I think the Patriots, really are going to settle into taking an offensive lineman at number 4 overall. I think, leading up to the NFL Combine, a lot of people were saying Will Campbell, because he was the top lineman in this draft. And if it were not for the measurement around his arms, there wouldn't have been a question about it. It would have been like, let's take this guy. Again, you're hoping Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter slide down. That doesn't happen. You're not going to trade back because there's not teams clamoring to come up to trade for a quarterback. So you're going to take the best available. You're going to build in the trenches. You need the left tackle, and it's going to be Will Campbell. I think at this point for the New England Patriots, it seems to be the most obvious move. And I think while it might not be the sexiest or the splashiest, and yes, people are going to clamor, is he a guard? Is he not? Well, guess what? You have a big hole at left guard here as well. If the Patriots really want to double dip, there are several offensive tackles in this draft, whether it be Campbell, Armand Membu, Kelvin Banks, Josh Connerly. Those top 4 guys are going to go in the first round. And if you want to trade back in and tab one of those as well and say, look, let's make it work. Let's make sure we stack the deck in front of Drake May, give him time, and let him improve the wide receivers around him through that side. And again, you're added Stefon Diggs to the mix already. And who's to say that you're not going to add another wide receiver in the draft? And with $60 million of cap space still available, you could still add to that line or add some veteran presence in front or behind of these draft picks that you add. To me, the obvious move is the one that they haven't made. You have not addressed the offensive line on the left side. Expect that to happen in 10 days at the NFL draft, and expect Will Campbell to be in a Patriots uniform when all is said and done. Finally, today we'll look at bounce back candidates. And I think with the way that this team is trending, and having a new offensive identity through a new head coach and a offensive coordinator that knows New England very well and knows how to scheme to get people into successful positions. And the 2 people that I want to look at, one we've already mentioned quickly, Ramondre Stevenson, I think getting out of the doghouse, getting past those fumbling issues, getting to play behind a very much improved offensive line already, and one that should continue to get better. And again, having a quarterback now next to him That's really going to open things up. Expect him to bounce back and be more towards that 1,000-yard rush season. And with Josh McDaniels in the fold, trying to get people into space, utilizing him a little bit more as a pass catching back if he acquits himself well enough to do so, or if they actually go and get that pass catcher, if Antonio Gibson steps into that role, if it's a day 2 or 3 rookie that latches on, or if Ramondre can really become that bell cow that he demonstrated that he potentially could be, there's a chance for him to truly have the definition of a bounce back season. And the other one for me is Michael Onwenu, the massive offensive lineman who's been kicked around inside, outside. Is he going to be a tackle? Should we even have him at left tackle? I think now that you put Morgan Moses at right tackle and you have him at right guard, that really sets up to potentially be one of the top 10 right sides of an offensive line in the entire NFL. And Michael Onwenu, who you just went out and paid last season over $20 million per year, can go in and be that mauler that we knew him to be, that he can set the tone for the line, be like, this is, we talked about yesterday, there's not a Patriot way. Well, let the Patriot way be just mean football in the trenches and push people around. And whether it's Garrett Bradbury at center or somebody else, having that trio in the middle and right side can really set the tone. And maybe if it's a younger duo at left tackle and left guard, letting them see the tone that is set by Moses and more specifically Michael Onwenu, letting him get back to the brand of football that earned him such a good contract. It's rare for this Patriots team to really pay free agents of their own to stay. It hasn't really built out that way in the past, even 10, 15 years, where guys get to stay at $20 million a pop. There's a reason why Michael Onwenu did. And yes, it was just a bad season across the board and really a 2-year stretch here where it has not been Patriot football. And I think not only our fans, are the players and the coaches now and the ownership are eager to get the Patriots back to the brand of football that made them so successful, win in the trenches, win by running people over, and win by playing smash mouth football. Michael Onwenu can do that, and hopefully we'll see Ramondre Stevenson do that in 2025 as well. That'll do it on this episode of Pat's Latest. Again, just 10 days to the NFL draft, so make sure you get in the comments and let us know what you think the Patriots should do. Is it Will Campbell? I think it will be. Who do you think it will be? And let us know if it's different and if they should even be trying to get on the phones and make a trade one way or the other. Additionally, make sure you subscribe for the channel. Go back and check out our other episodes, and we'll continue to have everything there is for the Patriots. Fight on, Foxborough.